Now the steps to compute division are a little bit different when we're working with negative numbers. And just as a warning, division with negative numbers is non-intuitive. It's very likely that for many of the integer division problems, you'll be able to do them in the head and in your head, and they'll make sense and it'll go very easy. With negative numbers, I caution you to really pay attention because it's less intuitive and easier to make mistakes. So we're still going to be working with the same values, right? We're going to have the number, we're going to have the divisor, we're going to compute the quotient and the remainder. So let's set this up. Let's go ahead and do negative 17 for our number, and for our divisor we'll use 5. And to get started, we start the quotient at 0 and we start the remainder at n, which is negative 17. All right, now how does this one work? Well, it's a little bit different. We keep going as long as r is less than 0, right? It's got to be in that range between 0 and d minus 1, so between 0 and 4 to be a valid remainder. And so we're going to keep going until that's the case. And what we do is we check, is r less than 0? It is. It's a negative 17. So we're going to take quotient equals quotient minus 1. So now the quotient is minus 1. And then for the remainder, we're going to add d to it. So we're going to take negative 17 and add 5, and that's going to give us negative 12. Then we go back up to the loop and we ask, is r less than 0? Yes, negative 12 is less than 0. So what do? We subtract 1 from the quotient, and we add 5 to the remainder, minus 7. Now notice how we're getting closer to that remainder that's valid, 0 to 4. So next, what do? Is r less than 0? It is. So we subtract 1 from the quotient, and we add the divisor. So negative 7 plus 5 gives us negative 2. Is negative 2 less than 0? It is. So we're going to keep going. We're going to subtract 1 from q. So we're going to get negative 4, and we're going to add 5 to the divisor. So if we take negative 2 and add 5, we get 3. Now we ask the question, is 3 less than 0? It's not. So now we stop our loop and we're done. And so what we ended up with is that we found when we take negative 17 and we divide it by 5, we get negative 4 with a remainder of 3. Now let's verify that. By taking our divisor by the quotient. So we're going to take 5 times negative 4, divisor times the quotient, plus the remainder, and our remainder is 3, and we're going to see what that is. So what is it? We take 5 times negative 4, that gives us negative 20. We add 3 to it, that gives us negative 17, and sure enough, it validates. Now notice how that is not intuitive. The quotient actually makes the result smaller, but then we add the remainder to it. And then that gives us this, then we're able to verify it with this same formula. And that's how you do division, integer division, when the number is negative.